Greenland's next, boys.
Welcome to the Bleeding Burgundy podcast, a Washington Commanders podcast for fans, by fans. With your host, Jesse Martin.
What are you talking about? You're out of your mind.
John Taylor.
We finally got professional football back. This is going to be fun.
Scott Hartley.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Max Taylor.
As long as you got Jaden Daniels, you got a chance to win.
Spanning the eras of Washington football. Honoring the past. Commanding the future. And now, the world's worst podcast host, John Taylor.
Hey everybody, I am the world's worst podcast host, John Taylor. I am wearing the world's coolest fucking baseball cap, though. So there's that. Hey, man, welcome to our second show of 2026. Is that what it is? So happy New Year last week if you're just joining us. Yeah, something like that. Whatever. If you're just now joining us for the New Year, A, Happy New Year, and B, where the fuck have you been, man? We've had a lot of shit to talk about, and you've missed a lot of it, including Jesse's big news. Now, Jesse, if you would like, why don't you go ahead and reiterate what that was as soon as I find your music? Go, where is he? Fuck, it always does this to me. There it is. There he is. That's right.
I got big news.
Big news.
Yeah, I mean, I know y'all are going to find this hard to believe, but I'm a straight man.
Hey,
Whoa!
there we go, everybody, ladies and gentlemen.
It's
Half
out in the world.
There's half of Europe that will back that up.
Half of Europe will back that up, and they did. We'll just leave it at that. All right, Jesse gets an A for playing along. Down here on the bottom right, since he's not here today, we're going to play it anyway. At a Jaguars pep rally. Scotty's taking his wife out and pitching woo right now. You know what he's doing. He's telling me, Trevor's going to be playing tomorrow and for the playoffs on Monday night, Is it Monday night that they're playing? No,
they're playing Sunday afternoon. Sunday afternoon.
They're the Sunday afternoon. Yeah.
They're the 1 o'clock game.
Yeah, it's kind of screwy. Anyway, filling in for our boy Scott. And, I hate to say the word filling in because that means that you're only welcome when there's somebody not here. And you're welcome all the time. Our good friend Tony Wheat. How you doing there, Tony?
Hi, guys. I'm good, thank you.
I don't have any music for you. So
no, I still can't believe I haven't got at least my own intro at this stage. But anyway.
Right. Well, next year. See what we have to do. We got to try somebody out every year, and then I animate.
That's true, yeah. So, yeah. No, good to be here, guys. Happy New Year. I've not seen you for a couple of weeks.
You've been traveling.
Jesse's beard's at least twice as long as it was the last time I saw him.
But that's getting there.
Dude, honest to God, he shaved clean this morning.
Is he coloring that?
Probably. You know how it is. He's on a podcast.
You got a little bit of salt stuck in there.
There we go. Now I can see it. I can see it now.
All right, now covering up his head down there, my son Max, and I usually say our good friend Max because I want him to feel part of the show and not just that I'm his Fowler or anything like that. But the fact of the matter is, when we're talking about hair, enjoy it while you can, Sonny. Enjoy it while you can.
No, I'm covering my head. I woke up from a nap 15 minutes ago. I'm still in dreamland.
Honest to God, your hair usually looks like you woke up from a nap, and that's okay.
How's this today?
Honest, what we've seen you looking like? We've seen you looking like somebody that's just come in out of the Antarctic.
You're right.
The wind's
It's just fucking like bloop.
Yeah.
Look, who else takes now? I can't for the life of me. I don't care how much sleep I got the night before, 2 hours or whatever. I can't take a nap ever.
No,
ever.
I can't sleep. I'll try to lay down sometimes, but then I'll just lay there going, fuck. You know what I could be doing? You know what I could be doing?
Oh, I can take a nap anywhere. It's great.
Not if I want to go to sleep again at night.
This is true. Max scared the shit out of me taking a nap one time. We were driving over the bridge, and he was driving, and I was like, fuck. All right. All right. So we didn't have any Commanders football this week to talk about other than the Eagles game last week, which we won. So we'll cheer about that one more time. Hooray.
Yay.
Hooray. now that we've found other things to bitch about, we'll go first fast thoughts. Okay, we've had a tumultuous week. That I can check off my list for 2026 of having used the word tumultuous in a sentence. All right, so give it a second so that you don't sound underwater, Jesse, and then give us your first fast thoughts on the news of the week.
Yeah, I mean, I still think Dan Quinn has taken a humongous risk here in what he's doing. It's a gamble, and for him, you better hope it pays off.
All right, Tony.
Yeah, it seems like we've gone back to the old days of firing. You know, we thought this time last year that you know, we were entering a period of stability, and here we are again.
Anything but. All right, Max.
Not directly about our team, but people need to stop freaking out about Ruben Bain not posting a stat last night.
Yeah,
Max, of course, with the eye on the big picture. For me, you know, I kind of agree with both what Tony and Jesse said, but I'm not in freak out mode. I'm not in freak out. What did you say? I'm sorry.
You said you could agree with those two, but not me. So I'm just saying thanks.
Well, no, I agree with you too, but yours was on a completely different subject. So, you know, I'm not talking college football or draft yet. It's kind of pointless to even begin to talk about college football or draft yet. And all right, so the big news, of course, the absolute elephant in the room. I get to use that again. If I can find it. There it is. Unless I missed some fucking news, Tommy Donatel is still on the goddamn fucking coaching squad. What the fuck is up with that? Jesse.
Let's just hope that, you know, he's going to wait till we get the DC in here to you know, fill out the rest of that staff or make some more changes.
That's what I'm thinking.
I think his defensive coordinator requests have gone to people that go, hey man, just hold on to Tommy Donatel. Let me kick his ass out myself. Okay. So anyway, we've got coordinator openings, obviously. And I guess we'll start with you, Tony. Where do you feel? How do you feel? What do you think? How do you think that they're approaching it? I mean, this is the section where we podcasters get to say whatever the we want and try to make the narrative fit whatever we think.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the major interest is the OC because the DC was everybody kind of knows that was coming. So the OC was, I think, too. You know, I've heard multiple people say a couple of weeks ago would have been a real shock, but you know, when it actually happened, while still a surprise, you know, it had been talked to have been a possibility.
Yeah.
You know, I know Jesse wasn't keen, and I'm
still not.
Half in. I'm kind of half in, half out because ultimately, if the sort of the insiders and the big guys are to be believed, and it was, you know, it wasn't necessarily about production, it was more about philosophical differences. You know, getting Jaden hurt, whether that was, you know, whether you buy into that or not. So I guess whoever the next OC
took him out the game. I mean, fucking hell.
Yeah,
not on Cliff.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I guess whoever the new OC is, you know, you've the prize asset of the franchise is Jaden. You've got to bring in somebody who is going to get the max out of him, and whatever that offensive scheme is. You know, whoever else you may bring in with him, however they're going to draft. You know, assuming good health again for Jaden next year, you've got to bring in a scheme. Now, obviously, it's a new scheme for Jaden to learn, but Jaden's a hard worker, so I don't see that as being as much of a problem as some people are saying. You know, okay, it's a new offense, but you know, the guy gets in at 5 a.m., so come on. But yeah, I think it's on the one hand it's exciting. On the other hand, it's we wouldn't have expected to be here even 6-8 weeks ago. So I have to be honest. I'm not overwhelmed by some of the contenders. You know, given some of the likely contenders. Right. And I'm not including Mike McDaniel in that because, like Jesse,
nobody should because he's not coming here.
Yeah,
we'll get to that. We'll kind of touch on the big contenders for the.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if he doesn't get a job. So yeah, I won't go into the names because I'm sure we'll discuss later. But you know, there aren't that many names out there that kind of jump off the page.
Max, why don't you expound upon that? I mean, really, what I'm asking you, Max, your whole life, this team has been in nothing but turmoil. So how do you approach something like this, right? I mean, for me, I've seen stability in the past. I'm the old guy. I've seen championships. He's seen championships. We've seen good organizational football. Tony is part of a professional organization of sports. He knows what good organizations look like. Max, you've seen nothing but dysfunction your whole life. How do you approach this?
What is a gourd?
Well, I mean, look, I don't want to be a fan. I don't want to be a show in which we only appeal to people that remember the fucking Redskins.
Sure.
You know, Max, you give us perspective that I don't have in terms of it's been nothing but bad with blips of good. So how do you approach this?
You just kind of embrace it.
Embrace it.
Well, that's what it's always been. For me.
Dude.
No, for me, it's what it's always been. I go into a season, I expect 500 is to be the best.
Well, that's not possible anymore unless we can win 8.5 games.
I mean, I get that, but what I mean is, in my life, we've won more than 10 games 3 times.
Right. So when
for the record, I'm going to be 30 years old this year.
Right. So the upheaval is what I'm talking about.
So I just get used to it. You look at the hypotheticals, you look at, what could be, and you hope that it happens. That's why I'm not doom and gloom about we lost Cliff, because this past season something happened. The change had to happen. What are we going to bring in to replace him? And then we'll make a decision from there. If we bring in the Raiders defensive coordinator, I might jump off the bridge, but it's going to be okay.
I'm not so sure about that, but we will talk about that. All right, Jesse, where are you sitting with this kind of turnaround? I think we talked about last week, whereas, all right, so they parted ways last week, I think right as we were coming on the show. So we kind of figured we were looking at Bobby Johnson, and is that what his name was? I've already forgotten him. He's out the door.
And that was similar.
But we were wondering about the continuity of the philosophy, but that all seems to be.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
I mean, I was a little bit surprised because I thought the offensive line did fairly well this season too.
By mistake, I said the offensive line coach. I was talking about the second offensive coordinator, the one we got from Philadelphia, Brian Johnson.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
There's so many Johnsons. I swear to God, there's Johnsons.
Yeah, Brian Johnson. Yeah. How I feel is kind of a little bit nervous. Like I don't know. I'm hoping DQ and Peters had a plan, and this wasn't just kind of willy nilly. Like, okay, this ain't going to work, and now they're like kind of scrounging. I hope they have targets and options. Like, hey, either this guy or this guy, I think is going to fit to work well with Jaden, because it is all about Jaden right now, and it's just I just don't see. I can't see everything. We don't know what's going on inside the building. So I can't speak on that. But from the outside looking in, like, why try to fix what's not broken? And it seemed like the offense, the players, and Jaden had a very, very good relationship with Cliff and really liked the offense that Cliff was running. And another thing that I don't think is going to be isn't talked about enough is Cliff's taking Mariota with him. I mean, I
really, that's a good possibility.
I don't see Mariota staying. Mariota loves this offense. This is the best Mariota's looked in the past couple of years when he's had the opportunity to play since his early days in fucking Tennessee.
I'm gonna read this. This came on our chat from Sergio Dominguez. What did the Los Angeles Police Department, the Carolina Panthers have in common? Neither one can stop a Bronco, which to me is a funny joke. I don't know if anybody else is going to get it or like it, but I thought that was funny. Thank you.
That's pretty daggone good, actually.
That was pretty doggone good. And somehow, all right, real quick, Scott G, our technical assistant, if you click on the link from John's tweet, it will enter the old full view, but from YouTube app, it will default to the mobile. So
there's two different streams now for some reason. There's a mobile stream, and then there's a regular computer stream. Use a computer stream
if you want. Because I've seen that we have gotten like 4 times as many people watching the mobile stream. So I think most people use their phones for anything anyway. I watch them do it while they're fucking driving. But I'm old, and I'll bitch about you driving no matter what. It's good to see our good friend Scott Hartley made it into the chat, but couldn't give a fuck about coming in for the show. Nice to see you, Scott. All right. So from my opinion, it's... And I hate to say this because, Jesse, I argued with you last week about what the fuck is look, right? When people say, oh, it's a bad look, it's just, it takes into account too much of our People magazine's culture, right? Where, oh, if it looks like that, then that must be the worst it could be. This looks bad. except for one thing. I think that when I hear about how Cliff and DQ parted thoughts on the running game, I agree with Quinn. I agree with him. We should have done a little bit more with the running game. And I think that
we was fucking fifth in
I know, but
rushing.
Here's the thing. And this is why I think Bobby Wilson, or now I'm on Bobby Wilson. He was a defensive tackle for us back in the day.
Just say Bobby.
Johnson. This is why I think that Bobby Johnson was let go, is because even though all of that's true, we were fifth in the league in rushing. It was never a factor. It was never something that we could say, okay, you can't stop it. We're going to rely on it, and we're just going to do it, except for the Raiders game. And everybody could do that. Well, no, that's not true either. I'm not going to say that because we might hire
listen, you got to give credence to the type of running backs that we have. We don't have good running backs. I know everybody wants Bill to be the fucking guy, or and Rodriguez, but I'm sorry. Our running backs are average to below average. And in all metrics. Let's be real about this.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I mean, I agree. I don't think that C-Rod is, even though I'm in the tank for him, I think that we can upgrade on him. All right. I do. I think that for what we've had over the last 2 years, he's pretty damn good. And I like the hammer that he brings. I mean, every time he's on the field, he does something positive for the most part. But that kind of, I'm trying to stay away from the offensive coordinator right off the bat, just because I want to bring that discussion in later. But for the offensive line and the running game, for all of the statistical height that they reached, it never materialized into anything dominant that you would expect from a fourth-ranked rushing attack. Tony, would you agree, or am I just shooting the breeze?
No, I think you're right. I think that the fourth rank running tackle, fifth or whatever it was. No, I don't think the running game was bad, and I think the fourth or fifth rank stat is slightly misleading because you've got some of the quarterback runs in that as well. But
true, but we were so haphazard in using it. That's the thing I don't like about Cliff.
Yeah,
is that he was so inconsistent with what he was doing. When it worked, but when it didn't, it kind of. There were times when you wanted. I mean, and I'm not talking about the 1 yard line.
When it didn't work, he didn't want to use it, and I don't fucking blame him, because when it didn't work, it didn't fucking work, and we saw that time and time and time again.
The short yardage stuff obviously didn't work, and there was a lot said about that.
That goes back.
But I think it was just for me. A lot of the time when I reflect on the season, you think about the running game, and you think at times it looked fantastic, and at other times it looked terrible. Mm-hmm. It just wasn't the consistency that you would expect from a running game that ranked whatever it was, fifth.
Who is that on though? Can we? Is that on Bobby Johnson? Is that on the players? What where was that disconnect? Because I mean, I even noticed that too. Personally, I thought a running game was fine. This offense is a kind of a more of a passing offense.
Yes,
which that's the offense that we all loved last year. Let's be real. We all loved it last year. Unfortunately, this year we just didn't have the players healthy enough to fucking go through with it. But I mean, who is that on? You have your offensive line coach, or maybe is that the reason why he got fired?
I don't think it's ever just one thing. I think you can't. It's not linear like that. I think that everybody has to take their share in that. I think Bobby Johnson's firing is linked to Cliff. I mean, I think when they bring an offensive coordinator, and I think it's going to be linked to. Bobby Johnson may not play or block the way that they want to play. So,
and also let's not forget,
he got fired because he used to
down in most games. So that did skew our running back. We had to fucking pass to try to catch up too.
Yeah,
so
that's right there. There it is. Ding, ding, ding. Let me find my ding, ding, ding sound.
That's very relevant.
That's it. You want to find the culprit? It's the defense. All right. Why didn't the running game work? And this. Before I get into this, Max, I was trying to bring it to you because you're our X's and O's.
I'm sorry. I points were just coming to my head.
No, you're good.
No, that's fine. That's fine. That's how this show goes, man. That's what we do. But Max, you're the X's and O's guy. So where are you going with what Jesse was saying? What was going through your head there?
It was more so just we were out of so many games. We couldn't really run the ball. And when we were able to run the ball, we were in the games and able to actually make an impact with it. But, right. I mean, if you look at when we were just leading rusher, I'm just going to hit the lows real quick. 17 against Green Bay, 35 against Dallas, 28 against Kansas City, 30 against Detroit, 55 against Denver, 52 against Minnesota, 65 in this last game against Philly. There's just not anything here that says like, hey, this is a strong run game.
Well, you see the makings of it. All right. But the fact of the matter was, you're right. To me, when you ask what was the reason why, when you see it at 5th rated, why is it falling apart? Why isn't it something that they're leaning on? It's because they're out of games. They're done with it. This is my main argument to the folks that want to draft this kid Love out of Notre Dame, at 7 overall. And it's like, okay, he's a great player. He'll look great for us, but he's going to sit on the sidelines a lot.
Scott G, don't go yet. Hold on. I'm going to comment on this. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, please go ahead. Put it up there.
The trajectory of Cliff's follows here as his AZ tenure. Great first year, second year decline as defense caught up, lack of adjustments. I'm sorry. This has been debunked time and time and time again.
It's been
circumstances have issues. Like his offenses has been good. His defenses has been awful. And he's run the same fucking offense. Don't you think if we would have been stopped or caught on to in year 1? Okay. If it's the same fucking offense that he ran in Arizona,
Jesse, that's
if
not
it's
what
the
he's
same
saying.
one, the defense should already have the tape on it. So no,
Jesse, that's not what he's saying. What he's saying is, well, I mean, in the case of Arizona, Cliff's second year is when they took off, but then
then the quarterback.
There's this perspective that he hits the wall. People figure him out,
right? And
there is no Cliff as people are trying to bring up. It's just not true.
Okay,
so. But to build off of that real quick, just to give you a counterpoint, in Cliff's third year, they started 7-0, finished the year 11-5, and then went to the playoffs. And then in his fourth year, they went 4-13. And that's
Kyler
when
Murray
got hurt in the end of that.
Had a bunch of injuries and a bad defense.
Kyler tore his ACL in that 4-13 season at the end. So it wasn't even that it was Kyler's injury. They had the same defense. There was nothing that changed. It was more so that the teams they played started to get caught up, and they knew that for Kyler Murray, you have to stay home to stop him. And that's still the case with Kyler Murray. Is if you stay home, he's going to run into you.
Kyler Murray's a backup quarterback as of now, anyway. So
you're right, but 5 years ago when he wasn't.
Now, Tony, let me ask you a question. If Kyler Murray was running around Ireland, would people try to catch him and make him give him their pot of gold?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think they dressed him in little green trousers.
Little goddamn runt. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I think we're off the topic there, so let's go ahead and break it down. We got coordinators that we're interested in. Defensive coordinator. Everybody seems to be so freaking hip on Raheem Morris because of this.
No, God, that would be awful hire.
I wouldn't. Jim Schwartz hasn't pried loose yet, but if he does, boy, that would be my dream hire right there.
They interviewed him for the head coach in Cleveland.
Yeah, I was going to say there seems to be a school of thought from what Albert Breer, I think, was saying today that Schwartz might be the man in Cleveland. Definitely.
Run away, Jim. Run away. Listen, I'm going to tell you one thing. Back in the day when I used to do bad cartoons, Jim Schwartz sent me an email one day and said they loved watching them in the goddamn. Remember, Max? I called you and I said, "Hey, look at this fucking email from Tennessee Titans, Jim Schwartz." Listen, while because I know he's watching the show. Jim, run from Cleveland. Run now. You did everything you could there. If they put you in charge, you're done. You're done.
Know. I don't think
you the captain of the Titanic.
For Coach to land.
What's that?
I don't think it's as bad as like Arizona or the Raiders or maybe even Tennessee.
The thing with Cleveland is if you take that over that, if you don't bring Jim Schwartz back, that defense falls off a cliff.
Maybe
for one.
It depends on what defense you bring in there. Defensive coordinator.
If I'm hired to be head coach in Cleveland while I'm trying to sort out that offense, I keep Jim Schwartz.
Let's just say, let's say Cliff got that job. He would bring Mariota in and instantly would make that quarterback room better. Just think, you've seen all this stuff about Deshaun Watson coming out lately. He's ready to have another crack at a
masseuse
starting job.
A crack at who?
Anyway,
a starting job.
Anyway.
Oh, sorry.
Listen, how long has it been since Deshaun Watson played any meaningful football? And I don't mean meaningful like as in they're in the playoff hunt. I mean like as in an actual football game.
3 years.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
And
you know,
prior
I
to that,
wouldn't like
he sat
the
for
fans
how
to-
long? Or he
He
played
hasn't
like
done
he played
anything
like 6 games. That dude, no.
on offense.
He's no, there's no
Just it's
effing
a
way.
2-time
How long
coach of
did
the year
Vincent
you're
Smith
saying
come out
didn't
of
do
college?
anything, by the way.
I mean,
he's 10 years in the
really
league.
hasn't. He's you know how you get coach of the year? Good coaches don't get coach of the year. You get coach of the year for
What?
taking a
Wait a
bad
minute.
team and making them good for a year. That's it. And then they get bad again. So like Andy Reid doesn't get coach of the year. Freaking Harbaugh
Yes, he
never
does.
got coach.
Both of them did.
Look, all these coaches a year are taking, or yeah, maybe his first
When they
year
do
in
something
fucking,
miraculous with it.
in Kansas City. You know, it's like I don't buy the coach of the year nonsense.
Listen, if you're going to look at Nick Sirianni as coach of the year, that motherfucker's going to have to get a new look. I swear to God, he looks like the Sesame Street guy that picks up the garbage, and I'm not going to change my opinion on that. Let's talk about coordinators. All right, so defensive coordinator.
Exactly. This is exactly my point right here.
Right.
Yes, that is fair. However, he made
Thank you,
something.
Mr. Malingerer.
He made something out of Daniel Jones that only one other person's been able to do.
Look, Dable got coach of the year and Jesse's right, because he turned something around for a year, and that was about
That's
it.
what I mean.
Right. I mean, it's a mercurial kind of award. I don't ever like the of the year awards because
but you can only judge the coach of the year on that year.
Yeah, it's very temporary.
Yeah.
So in terms of our coaching search, defensive coordinator, I really don't know who I would like yet. This guy from the Raiders is kind of intriguing, and the only reason it's intriguing to me is the Raiders were right around 14th or 15th on all defensive metrics in terms of team stats, passing versus rushing versus blah, blah, blah. 14th or 15th is twice as good as we were, for one. So instant upgrade if he can do that. And two, Pete Carroll picked him to be his defensive coordinator. To me, that carries weight. If there's one thing that Pete Carroll's his time in Seattle, what's it defined by?
Junior.
His defenses.
Defense,
right?
Yeah, I mean,
right.
Well, yeah.
He's an offensive coach, but he knows how to find defensive coaches that can do their thing. So that would give, if they want to interview this guy from the Raiders, and a lot of people don't know his name, and they're like, who the fuck, what, the Raiders? And you think, the Raiders, my God, they're horrible. True. But there's that.
All right, let me ask you this. When Pete left, when he was in Seattle, his past 4 years, how good were their defenses?
I'd have to go look it up, but I mean, not great. They weren't the Legion of Boom or anything like that, but Seattle's defense is usually pretty damn good. If he's got that pedigree.
The Raiders had a decent defensive line and a shit everything else.
True. You got Max Crosby. That makes a big difference. I don't know that he's going to get the job. I'm just
that
looking
would
at
make a lot of defensive coaches look good. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean,
now other than we saw it, we beat the crap out of the Raiders, but other than, you're trying to look at something to give you something to go by as to why he is in the position he's in and why we might even want him. And to me, that's the one thing that stands out. Pete Carroll traditionally has been able to pick good defensive coaches.
Yes.
Well, I think I'd have to just correct this, but I think Patrick Graham was at the Raiders before Pete Carroll arrived, and I think he retained him. I may be proven wrong there, but I think he was.
Okay.
He was at the Giants before that. He was the Giants DC, if I remember rightly.
Then forget it. I can't stand him.
And he was the Giants DC the year they went to the playoffs with Daniel Jones.
Yeah, and wasn't he not at the Raiders for a couple of years? I think Carroll was only there this year. Anyway,
I think he might have been there for a year before. I know the Giants turned him loose in 24.
But at the very least, Carroll kept him on, and so he must have regarded him well in that sense. So I mean, there's
Ulbrich is intriguing.
You kind of hear fans going mad online when they see that we're interviewing X, Y, and Z. And it's like, guys, it doesn't mean that these people are going to get.
We're interviewing.
It doesn't even mean that they're actually interested in appointing these guys. They've an interest in talking to them. And some of the time with some of these guys they're talking to, they want to get some more information out of these guys. They want to talk to these guys about, is it someone for the future? Is it someone from another team? They don't want to, they have to fulfill the Rooney Rule. Now, you can be as cynical as you like about the Rooney Rule.
Oh, don't get me started.
Oh, that was just
I hate
coaches and GMs.
No, it's every position. Every position.
While I said I hate it, I should clarify. There's lots of people paying attention. I mean, and lots of people, of course, is. I
mean, it's just a fluff. It's a fluff.
What it does to me, it takes those coaches it takes those coaches and reduces them to their color. If you are a coach of color in this league, I don't care how qualified you are. If you get the phone call, the first thought that has to run through your head, or right close to the first thought that has to run through your head, is, am I just being tokenized by having to fulfill this rule? You know, I get the spirit of the rule, and I am not against that kind of at all. However, in this business, it's a very small fraternity. All right, a very small group. And the most important color, I think, to the owners is green. Sure. If you can win, you will make them a lot of money. And I think that is the first thing that they're thinking about when they're looking for a coach. And if you're an idiot that still fucking thinks about, oh, you know, color, you deserve to be a loser. I'm talking to the owners that are paying attention right now. I don't think any of them are, because I think green is more important. So I think that the rule fulfilled its purpose, but now even when you look on social media now, everybody is so, well, this is why you're talking to that guy, he's fulfilling the Rooney Rule. And it's not just, it's kind of, it's become, am I saying the right thing?
It's the wrong. I think it's the wrong way. It's the wrong way to. It's the wrong way to approach what is still a problem. And I think that the league has.
I don't know. Is it still a problem?
Well, you look at the stats, and it probably says yeah. The leagues that put in a lot of work in other areas to try and increase the percentage of minorities coming into roles below, you know, into some of the assistant roles, where assistant, like if you become a QB coach, you may then become an OC. If you then get in the OC door, you then get. It's more about creating pathways than just trying to parachute guys straight in as head coaches or general managers.
No, I get that.
You've got to create that talent. You've got to widen the depth of the talent pool, I think, is what they're trying to do.
I think that has been, like I said, man, there's only 32 entities in this company. You know what I'm saying? The whole pool of coaches is a small group. The fraternity of coaches, players, owners, all of it, it's a relatively small group. And I think among all of them, this is why I get so bristling when people talk about, I'm going off on a tangent here, but when people talk about how Kevin Stefanski, she sabotaged Shedeur Sanders, and wink, wink, you know why. Look, that's ridiculous. This is,
yeah, it's crazy.
In other areas of life, I'm going to listen to you. But in this, I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. And to me, I think that if I am a coach in that position and I get that call, like I said, if that forces that thought through my head, then it's not fulfilling its purpose. Am I right or wrong? Or ambivalent?
I think you're right. I think the whole coach hiring cycle, like you said, is a very small world. There's a lot of nepotism that goes in there. Pete Carroll's son, obviously, there's a great article this week about how the offensive line had to coach themselves, and Geno Smith had to come in and talk to them, and the GM had to come in and talk to them because Pete Carroll's son didn't know what he was doing. So there's a lot of nepotism that goes on. And I'm always very interested, and again, this is a bit of a tangent, so you know, I've been driving a lot this week, so I've been listening to a lot of podcasts, and people are making, you know, people talking all the time about the links, you know, so-and-so worked with so-and-so here and knows so-and-so from there, and I understand why that's important, because, you know, it's you're talking about then dealing with known quantities, people you know, you don't have to build relationships, and I get that, but part of it makes me sort of wonder, that's important and it's probably helpful in the process, but are you not missing a real opportunity to develop new opportunities or new relationships in favor of a retread, because I once worked with you in 2017 in Cleveland, and now I'm going to bring you to, and there's always this presumption that because people have worked together, they actually work well together and they like each other. You know, there's a lot of dots and lines being drawn. It's like the old, you know, NYPD Blue, whatever, with the, you know,
there you go.
Putting the different things, the lines across to, you know, in the crime scene kind of thing. So yeah.
I get it. I mean, I completely get it. And it's, you're right. It is, it's a small fraternity. I think when people say, oh, DQ only hires people he knows, find me somebody in the league he doesn't.
Everybody does that.
Right. They all know everybody.
Ron used to get that all the time.
Right. And so I think in professional sports, the NFL, I'm not going to speak for any other sports. I couldn't possibly. And I'm not even speaking for this. I'm speaking from my belief. I think, like I said, if talent presents itself, talent is found. There's so much money on the line. that I don't think that there's anybody left that's going to say, oh, you know what? He's Hispanic. I'm not going to hire him. I just don't. Anyway, I'm way off tangent. Jesse's looking at me like, Jesus Christ, would you fucking get onto some football?
We did 25 minutes on the
Nah, not quite.
I'm
Not
kidding.
Keith, for God's sakes.
We got some football this weekend, gentlemen.
All right, so we're going to stay away from even in mentioning the Rooney Rule when we talk about these people that they're talking to, because we're going to assume that everybody that they're talking to has been talked to because of their merit. So offensive coordinator, we talked to the tight ends coach of Dallas. What's his name?
Who cares?
I can't remember.
I can't even remember his name, to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay, so why do you think that we do something like that?
Just to get
nepotism. He worked with Dan Quinn before.
But I refer you back to my
God.
previous answer.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe Quinn, kind of going along with what you were saying is maybe Quinn's just helping him out so that guy can go through the interview process.
That's a good possibility.
I don't think it was a serious contender. Well, maybe Quinn thinks he's got a brilliant football mind and was like, hey, why don't you get some experience, come interview with us so you can put that in your bag for later on.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a very good thought. It could possibly be that they were quite interested in getting some insight maybe on the Dallas. I wouldn't say on the specific Dallas offense, but let's face it, the Dallas offense fucking rolls, and their tight end is a big part of it. So I don't think, granted, Dan knows him from the past, but it could be what you were talking about, Jesse, right there, that give him some interview. And I think that they might have actually had some interest, maybe even to bring him over. He's only a tight ends coach, maybe to bring him over in a different role. Max, what do you think of that? You haven't said anything for a while.
In terms of the Cowboys guy, I could care less. I don't think it's a legitimate hire.
Not as OC, but could you see him maybe bringing him over as something else?
I don't think he's going to be a lateral. I think that whoever they bring on is going to try and bring on all their own staff. I also there's a sneaking suspicion in my head we're going to go internal with David Blau, whatever his name is.
Blau, yeah.
You know who's available and still wants to coach at an offensive line, and if
I do know what you're going to say.
Get somebody that runs that zone read scheme or that Shanahan scheme as a perfect offensive line coach is Bill Callahan.
Bill
I
Callahan.
knew you were going to say Bill Callahan.
So
he does run that zone scheme. All right, so
he's the best offensive line coach available in the league, probably
for just offensive line. Okay,
yeah, just offensive line.
Okay, now in terms of offensive coordinator, today's big names, of course, were Mike McDaniel and David Blau. Now, Jesse, you're dead set saying that Mike McDaniel ain't coming here.
Listen,
ahead.
I would love for Mike McDaniel. I don't think there's a chance in hell that he doesn't get a head coaching job.
He's interviewing for Tennessee Titans job next week, so it's already started. What about you, Tony? Where are you falling on the offensive coordinator?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Jesse. I don't think there's much chance. I think there is a chance. He's not guaranteed to get a job. I think he's a heavy favorite, but I think the fact that, well, I suppose having said that Hall was out there now, and that that was perhaps a surprise one, but he may not get a job. So for me, Blau's an interesting one. I don't know whether it's too soon for him. Maybe he's only 3 years into his coaching career.
Two.
That two is it right? Well,
third.
That said,
no way.
Some people have just got it. And Blau's known to be a very sort of cerebral kind of guy, and
he can't even be bothered to finish his last name. He's thinking so much.
Is Blau ready yet, though? That's my concern.
Yeah, exactly. That's the question.
Not sure.
That said,
Sean
McVay, everybody, when Sean McVay was appointed in 2016 with the Rams, he was 30. Everybody kind of.
But
hell.
But remember,
I know he was an OC.
What a title
I know he was our OC. So it's not a apples to apples comparison, but it's a is he ready comparison.
Well, Sean McVay has an eidetic memory. I don't know if anybody's seen the things about him. They kind of turn it into a novelty, but the dude does. He has an eidetic photographic memory. He can remember every single situation of every single game in every single fucking season that he's ever been a part of.
And he knows his calls.
It's amazing. It's amazing watching him do it. They did it like he was a circus trick, and it's amazing watching him pull it up. So Sean McVay, I think, has a step above, and I get not wanting to miss on the next Sean McVay, but at the same time, Blau a prodigy. Max, go ahead. What do you think about Blau?
I don't think he's a prodigy. I just think he's someone who's just earned his time. He was a player. He knows. Yes.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm listening to you.
He was a player. He knows what to look for on the field. He was a quarterback for it anyway. I think he's just going to be the internal hire if they do it.
Yeah.
I think that Mike McDaniel, though, I don't know if he's going to garner head coaching interest in terms of actually getting offers because of how poorly his time in Miami ended.
Well, everybody's time at some place ends poorly.
No, what I mean is he was there for 4 years. They went playoffs, 500, 4-13. And he doesn't seem like he'd be someone who's going to coach in the Midwest. He's very much the West Coast stoner guy who's going to try and come in. Oh my God, look at him. You're telling me that guy's going to be a blue collar team?
Understand,
Hell
but
no.
if we're going to make assumptions off of how people look, for fuck's sake.
Look at where he's coached
not a stoner guy anymore, and he credits
and Dan Quinn helped him not.
I was going to say he credits Dan Quinn for taking him out, but
just because he's coached in San Francisco and Miami, that doesn't preclude him from coaching.
It doesn't preclude him.
What it looks like to me from him in those two places is it looks like he learned how to stand around in rich areas and beg, but that's just his choice of clothing, I suppose. Look, the thing about Mike McDaniel, he is interviewing with the Titans next week, so I
heard through grapevine he's interviewing with the Browns as well.
Yes, Titans and Browns so far.
Yeah.
I don't think
no surprise. That's no surprise. I mean,
interviewing with the Browns is like digging through somebody's hamper. Thanks anyway.
It's the third best opportunity out there.
Well, I mean, they say that, but let me tell you, the Browns have the same kind of ownership we had. All right, maybe without the perversion that's been discovered yet, but the ownership in Cleveland is not very good. So
I don't know. Stefanski lasted a while. How long?
He lasted a while, but what was he able to accomplish? And there's always just something. And I'm sorry. When you talk about how the Commanders have been snake bit, that team has been fucking snake bit until I see somebody do something with it for more than 9 months in a row. They're snake bit.
They ran Baker out of town and they brought in Deshaun Watson. And Deshaun Watson has played all of 20 games since he's been on the Browns.
They knew it.
Cost him
that's the whole kind of what I'm talking about.
Guaranteed money.
That's what I'm talking about. That's the kind of idiot moves they do.
Well, yeah, but even so,
it
held them back.
It's a fully guaranteed deal, which means they had to send a check for $240 million into escrow.
Yeah, well, if they didn't use it, they get that money back though, since they restructured it.
They should have had a clause in there that said if you stick anything from the freaking practice facility up your rectum, you do not get a dime. And then they would have been clear. You know how I feel about it, Jesse. We've been doing this podcast together for a long time. And I said when it happened, I hope it blows up in their fucking face, the money they get, how they structured that.
Oh, I mean, they ruined
the league. They fucked it all.
Luckily, I think the rest of the NFL kind of came together and says no more of this shit.
Good.
But they attempted to ruin the contract flow when it comes to quarterbacks.
Right.
And they came close to doing it. They came real fucking close to doing it.
Well, Lamar tried and got stuffed.
Yeah. I mean, with with Cousins didn't help that situation either with his contract negotiations as well.
No, and him taking completely the Vikings fucked it first. Anyway, we're off the track here. All right, so Todd Monken, let me throw that name into the
I was going to mention that name as well.
Todd Monken, you mentioned the Ravens that they surprisingly made big changes. Todd Monken is out. What would you think of that, Tony? Oh, there you go, Max. Go blow that snot rider.
Thank you.
I wouldn't be opposed to Monken because he's obviously used to working with a mobile quarterback. He'd get him on the move. The Ravens have, generally had a strong ground game as well. Obviously, they've had Derrick Henry the last 2 years, which helps. So it's an intriguing one. The one that came on the radar today that I was looking at and heard about today was about Mike LaFleur.
Okay.
The Rams OC, who's obviously he's not calling plays in LA, but
there's another one is that the guy? Is he the passing game coordinator?
No, I think he's actually the OC.
Rams.
He's Rams OC, but he doesn't
the OC, but he doesn't
right, because there's another name that the Rams passing game coordinator. He's got a funny name, and I don't mean to say that in any way, but if you look at it and you go, yeah, that's kind of goofy, then you know what I mean. People with funny names, you understand.
I do.
Well, yeah, exactly. Your name is Wheat, for fuck's sake. People go,
I've been called Weetabix most of my life.
So, go ahead.
My name is Taman. You know how many times I was called Gaiman when I was in fucking junior high school?
Didn't even think of it.
Taman.
You didn't think about it?
So, real quick, just so we can touch back on this. So Deshaun Watson, all of his contracts editing was for last season. Mm-hmm. His cap hit this season is $80 million.
Oh, that's chump change.
God. So this is why I want the Browns to fail. I like Shedeur Sanders, but I want the Browns to fail because of that. I want that to blow up in their face. They tried to fuck everything.
Shit.
They really did. And if I had it available, which I don't, and in fact, I just deleted it like a week ago, I'd put up again all the songs I wrote about Deshaun fucking Watson sticking things up his ass. Jesse, you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
That was some fun shit. All right. So Todd Monken, Jesse, what would you think of him?
Yeah, no, I'll pass on that. I think you need a running back like a Derrick Henry to really get a good.
There's no running back like it.
Exactly. You know, I'm sorry. There's not many offensive coordinators that really sound appealing to me that would make me think that getting rid of Cliff would be a mistake. I'm sorry.
I don't know. Was it a get rid of Cliff or Cliff just deciding, okay, we're not going to get along? I can understand it when two adults look at one another and go, okay, we've got two different ideas about this. It's not going to work. And they just go, okay.
Well, that's how they're trying to portray it. That's how they're trying to portray it. Now, whether that's true or not.
But Jesse, Monken was there before they had Derrick Henry. And that was the year they were the 1 seed in the AFC.
Who was their running back?
And that's also when he totally shit the fucking bed in the playoffs.
I mean, yes,
and threw the ball 50 fucking times.
You're right. In the last game, they messed up.
We gave up 55 points in the playoffs.
And let's be real. They haven't really made a run. They didn't make playoffs this year. I think were they one and done last year, or they won one playoff game last year?
They won a playoff game, then lost to the Bills on the road because Dick Andrews dropped the ball in the end zone.
Yeah.
But,
right.
Dick sorry, he just doesn't do anything to you know.
Lamar won an MVP under him.
How about a Brian Callahan, Bill Callahan double?
I'll take Bill. I don't know about Brian.
Yeah, there's another name that was mentioned today when I was listening to something. So I suppose he's got he's got head coach experience as well as OC experience.
I do think we need to run the Shanahan offense, though. I think we need to. I think Jaden would do very, very well in that that zone scheme. I would love for McDaniel to not get one of these head coaching jobs. I just don't see it happening.
Even if he does not get one this cycle, next cycle he probably would.
And that's something that you got to worry about. You know.
Yeah, you're losing.
You're going to lose him again. And David Black. My angst is not about Jaden learning the offense. Of course he can. He's a very, very smart kid. Like very, very smart. But you want to try to at least have 2-3 years of continuity.
Consistency. Right.
Yeah, but Jesse, do you think if this year went the way we thought it would, Cliff would be gone anyway?
Probably not, but that's still
he might be getting a head coaching offer.
That's what I mean. He'd be getting.
I think he's going to get a head coaching
offer with Johnson, whichever Johnson it was that I meant that we were talking about.
But that's Jaden had fucking 3 healthy games. You know, I still
played 7 games this year. Yeah, but
we're acting like that this is only happening because we failed. It was, hey, this is going to happen even if we succeed or not. We were worried to hell about this last year. That
we don't necessarily know that, though.
You're right. We don't.
I think we were all excited that we were building the team with the succession plans in mind. We were building the coaching staff with those kinds of things in mind. We were whichever Johnson I was.
Yeah,
whichever one.
Or maybe even Blau, but it did not work out like that. So
right. All right. So Blau. Let me bring up Blau because I like saying Blau. I think it's kind of fun to say Blau. But the kid's been a assistant quarterbacks coach now for
2
a
years.
year. Yes, 2 seasons.
Second year?
It'll be his second year come February. All right.
Yeah.
He was hired in 2024, February 2024. So he's been a year, 2 years.
2 seasons done.
I think making a stretch, making him an OC right now.
Well, okay, so I'm going to go to my good man, John Keim, because he's who I listen to when it comes to factual stuff. They like him. They like him a lot. And this is coming from him. And that they kind of think of it in a way. Well, now I'm going to take this off of Keim now because I don't know that he says this, but I'm saying this. They kind of think of it in a way that of the McVay thing. They don't want to let the next best thing get away. It's not lost on them, these graphics that come up all the time that show all the great coaches that were under our fucking wing and are now good coaches out in the NFL. Even though we could sit here as fans with knowledge
that's
and
the most
understand why
overrated
those
graphic
things
of
happen.
all time.
I'll say it again.
That's the most overrated graphic of all time.
It is, but it also shows. Well, see, here in DC, as fans, we somehow look at a positive coaching tree as a bad thing. Jay Gruden built a positive coaching
Very much
tree.
did.
I mean,
And
Go
also,
get Jay
he should be
Gruden as the
credit for
fucking
that.
offensive coordinator.
when we hired Jay Gruden, he was the McVay.
Right. Now,
Yeah.
so the thing about Blau is, if it falls under, they don't want to lose the next McVay. Okay, I get that, but this notion that the fans have amongst us that we're
Do you
bound to
gamble
do
and take that chance?
this is the normal NFL matriculation of a coach. They don't go from assistant quarterback coach to offensive coordinator. There's time in between where they learn more under different coordinators. Most of them go elsewhere to become successful. McVay is a way outlier, right? He's not your typical guy that makes his way up through the ranks and then becomes a head coach.
McVay started as a
He's a prodigy.
He did fucking
McVay was a assistant to a tight end coach to the coordinator.
Right. He did equipment
stock
shit,
length,
and then he went fucking that to the tight end assistant, fucking quality control, then to a tight ends coach. He went up. He was young. He was very young. While
Sean McVay, just a fun fact about Sean McVay, he was a higher high school recruit than Calvin Johnson when he was coming out of high school. Yes. He won like the player of the year in Georgia over Calvin Johnson.
Calvin Johnson must have sprung because that's saying something. All right. Anyway.
I think the only thing you can say about David Blau, where he clearly has a lack of coaching experience, is that albeit as a backup and third stringer, he was a quarterback in the NFL for 5 years.
True. And now you say albeit third string.
But you're still an NFL quarterback. You still know how to prepare. You still know how to schedule meetings. You still know how to work meetings. You still know how to run practices. Or you don't. Well, you know how practices run. So I think there would be a big difference between somebody who was a young, inexperienced coach who didn't have a playing background, who'd only been there for 2 years, and somebody who was an NFL quarterback for 4 or 5 seasons, and then now has had 2 seasons as an assistant coach. So I'm just trying to make a case for him. I'm not
I'll tell you what. I'll give you another bullet point to make a case for him. And I'm not advocating for him really, because I think that jumps a lot of the matriculation process. If they are sure, or if they are reasonably sure he's that prodigy, so much so that they think that they can elevate him to offensive coordinator without risking losing him, so they don't risk losing him, then fucking hold your nose and jump in, man. Why not? What do you got to lose at this point? But
I don't know. Like
hang on real quick, Jesse. One of the positives, and you can talk about this. The only player he's coached is Jaden. So whatever offense scheme he works towards is going to include nothing but how he works with Jaden. That could be a positive thing. Go ahead.
Scott Hartley 3331 says,
"Oh yeah, I've heard it.
Smells weird.
If they gamble on Blau and it doesn't work, DQ and maybe
Cheers,
AP
Scott.
are done. Hence the nepotism again. You're right, but be honest with you, I think no matter who comes in, it doesn't matter who comes in. If it doesn't work, Dan Quinn is gone.
Playoffs or bust. I've said it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, they've got to get in. You had a great year, and then you had this fucked up year with a lot of excuses. Now you got to get in.
Yeah, I wouldn't hear of anything. I wouldn't hear of anything this year about firing him, even though people were talking about him being on the hot seat and firing him. But if next year's a disaster as well, then unless there are major extenuating circumstances again, you've got to kind of go.
Major extenuating.
You guys know I've been saying it
crashing
all year.
into the middle of the fucking field. That's about it.
I've been saying it all year long. a DQ was never going to be on the hot seat. The seat was ice cold.
Yeah.
It is now coming into this year. It is.
Yeah,
now.
it's gonna
I've changed
warm
my
up.
tune because of this kind of. Yam says it right here. We're such in a weird place right now. Yes, we are.
Yes,
we are.
Absolutely are.
Yeah, you're right.
I have a feeling though that Yam kind of likes weird places like that. All right. So nice to see you, Yam, by the way. Somebody else was in here last week, by the way. This is specifically for our friend Yam Sensei. He was purporting to be the official emissary from Japan to the to the Bleeding Burgundy podcast. Sorry about that. And I was like, no. I mean, even though you're in the States now, we've got our guy.
Well, I'm sorry, Yam. I'm on the other side of that. I said you're no longer in Japan no more.
What has to happen now is Yam and this other guy have to both fly to Hawaii, and they got a fist fight. And then whoever wins gets to be the emissary from Japan. I tried to think of somewhere halfway, but that's probably somewhere in the Pacific Ocean.
Hawaii would be good. Hawaii would be good.
Just to conclude on Blau, he was an NFL quarterback for 5 years.
Yeah.
So he had 5 years as a pro quarterback and 2 years as an assistant. So,
I'll tell you what, Tony, on that regard, one of the things that I think is a true thing in sports that comes from baseball. Scott.
Yes.
All right.
Cheers, Scott.
Scott
busy on the night.
Scott is in between romantic endeavors and texting us.
Yeah, busy on the night shift, Scott. Yeah.
When there's an old baseball adage, and it's not really an adage, it's not really a quote or anything like that, but the guy who becomes the good manager isn't the fucking star at shortstop or the star center fielder. It's the guy who sits on the bench for 5 years and watches the manager, right? He learns how to manage. So I get it. When folks look at somebody like Blau and they say, oh, he never played. Well, it doesn't matter whether he actually played.
That's what you want.
He learned. Like Dan Orlovsky. You think he's smart?
He's a smart ass.
Well, that didn't work out. So Dan, got your answer.
Smart enough to run out the back of the end zone.
Yeah,
he did run out the back of the end zone, but when it comes to breaking down some freaking football, he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah. I mean, I was only messing there.
Yeah, he ran out the back of the end zone.
There's this thing in England with the sorry, just to finish that, with the soccer managers that you don't get as many sort of legendary NFL players who retire and become NFL coaches. They don't tend to follow that path as much. Whereas in soccer, a lot of big name ex-players become coaches and managers. And it's probably less than 50-50 success rate for those guys. Whereas some of the most successful managers, your Jose Mourinho's, Arsene Wenger's, people like that, had Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool, had very limited playing careers. So
how to manage.
I think it's different ways too, because I mean it's not like you have plays that you draw up in soccer or football, but in football you have to draw up every single play. It's stop and go, and then you have to call them, and then there's just so much. I believe there's so much more into it that you have to be prepared for as a play caller or a head coach.
No.
Absolutely.
Well, let me throw this out in regards to Blau. The only player he's coached is Jaden Daniels. If he is going to come up with an offense, it's going to be completely centered around what he knows about Jaden Daniels. That's a potential positive, wouldn't you think?
I think he would probably stick closer to Cliff's offense than anything.
The only player he's coached is Jaden Daniels. He doesn't have anything else to go back on. He doesn't have any other experience to deal with.
Maybe he won't get the job if he says he wants to stick to something similar to Cliff's offense. Maybe they'll go, okay, thanks for coming. There's the door.
Yeah, you did see him leave the building, right?
Yeah, it's like, does he even have an offense though? Most offensive coordinators, have their own offense or, at least their own playbook,
a concept.
Yeah,
he's a coach for 2 years now.
It's just like, he's never called plays before, getting those sequences down. It just seems like to me, he doesn't have enough experience.
To me, if they hire David Blau, it is Dan Quinn saying, fuck it. I am all in. Yeah. Everything is in the center right now. I'm either going with this or I'm out. And that's a good possibility. All right, we are looking at the time here. So we're going to get on to picking some NFL football games.
Hey, Dad,
we got a
quick.
whole big freaking weekend full of playoffs. What'd you say there?
Just real quick, just for you, because I know you want to crash out.
Just for me.
What's going on?
Bobby Petrino, your favorite human being, was just hired as the coordinator for North Carolina. Bobby Petrino and Bill Belichick are on the same coaching staff.
They deserve what's going to happen. And that fucking woman.
They're playing here in August. North Carolina are playing in the
you should go just to watch that woman tell Bill Belichick what to do.
Watch her outfit.
Gonna try and find Bill Belichick's missus.
Yeah, just watch her on the sidelines going, Bill, do the run play. You know, the one where you hand it off. That would be great. All right, we got some football games this weekend.
All right. The St. Louis Rams. Just kidding. It's the LA Rams.
The Los Angeles Rams.
Same thing. Over 46.5. The Rams are going to win this game. They're definitely going to win this game.
We said that, 3 weeks ago?
They're going to win this game. But the Panthers are going to cover.
And that's why they're going to win this game.
So I will say I did a little bit of line scouring. Bryce Young's pass yard over under is only at 192.5.
I saw that.
That seems low.
That was very, very tempting.
Also,
bet I went the under.
Rico Dowdle at 46.5 is low. And Matt Stafford, his over-under for rushing yards is half a yard. If he can't get a yard,
dude, it's been that every game
that's
since
insane.
Forever.
No.
Don't be stupid. Don't bet on that. I tell you what.
On.
No, it's that every game, and he never gets it.
That's crazy.
He doesn't run. If he gets a yard, it's amazing.
Just do a
It's that every game. Trust me.
Matt Stafford has 1 yard rushing for the season.
See what I'm saying? They put him up with a half yard over under every game, and they think somebody like Mac's going to come along and go.
He's got 29 carries, 1 yard.
There you go. I'm telling you. Don't. That is a money suck right there. All right, Tony, who you got in this game?
Well, I'll go with the Rams. I mean, we said that they lost to them 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, but I can't see Lightning striking twice. If anything, they'll be, double alert for this one. I agree with Jesse. I think they'll cover.
All right. I would say I agree, wink, except that if I say I agree, wink, then the Panthers do whatever I say they're not going to be able to do. The Panthers, they have fucked me so many times this year. So, wink, the Panthers are winning this game and they're covering, wink, which means I'm betting the Rams. Fuck yeah.
Rams will win.
I'm taking the Rams, but I'm taking the over in this game. I don't know that I'm going to give him 10.5. When you talk about Bryce Young and his yardage, dude, that dude could put up 300 yards and they can win 30-6, or he can put up 75 yards and they get the shit kicked out of him. Yeah. It's too mercurial. When you get into the playoffs because of the Saints, you ain't going any further.
Yeah, the Rams have got to win because we need.
That was so weird. I don't know what the fuck that was.
Oh, that was my dog playing with his new fucking chicken toy.
That was coming from my house.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah. John's dog is in Jesse's house. You heard it.
See if there's any Girl Scouts in your basement that need water.
All right, the Packers and the Bears. The Packers are favored by 1.5. Finally, the Bears were favored at first coming into this week, I believe, but finally the odds makers changed the line, rightfully so, and have the Packers favored by 1.5. Over under is 44.5. Gave me the Packers covering money line and the over.
Adunze is coming back for Chicago this week.
Yeah.
And I think the Bears are going to win this game flat out. Adunze's line is only 36.5. That's very low.
Adunze hadn't played in over a month. It's cold.
I mean, that's fine. 36.5 isn't a lot. There's no Dontavion Wicks for the Packers, so I think Jaden Reed at 35.5 is an interesting number as well.
That is a good number right there.
What about Christian Watson?
Christian Watson's like 56.5.
I mean, what's he play? He's
playing.
Ready to go?
He's playing.
He's been good for.
But also, Caleb Williams' rushing line is 21.5, and that seems low as well. This game has very low.
I expect this. I would go with the under in this game.
No.
Well, the forecast is the snow flurries and strong winds blowing up Lake Michigan, so this is going to be a bit of a battle, I think.
Okay, I'm taking the Bears. in this game.
Wow.
I think I'm taking the Bears. No, I'm taking the Packers in this game. I'm
Oh.
taking the Packers. I'm laying the 1.5
Well,
points.
be the lone wolf.
All right, Jesse, you got to jump over. John's picking the Packers.
I think I'm picking the Packers. I can't remember what I'm picking in this game. I know I've got a big parlay this week. Here you go. I'm going to put my parlay up this week. I'm picking the Packers in this game. I'll lay the 1.5 points. I'm relying on the experience there. Bears, lesson learned. I don't give a fuck about the weather. The Packers and Bears are used to playing out in the cold, whether it snows 6 inches or not. The weather report that I read said snow in the morning, less than an inch. It's not going to affect anything.
We're going to have flurries, 32 degrees. So, Tony, it's 0. You're in the world.
Yeah, so it's not too cold.
Real feel, though, is 16 with 20-mile-an-hour winds and flurries.
Yeah, once they get going, they're not even going to feel that. Yeah, they're not even going to feel that. All right, so my big time, all-time weekend over Palooza. All right, I'm taking overs in every game.
Oh, I thought those were spreads.
This weekend. Every game. Ram versus Panthers, over 46.5. Hell yeah, man. You telling me it can't be something like 31-20?
That's what it was.
Hell yeah.
John loves 6 inches, says Scotty.
You should see his Subway order.
Tell you what, Scott, you know what that means. You better bring a friend. Anyway, Packers and Bears.
Dad.
Sorry, Max.
You've done it now. You've done it now, Scott.
All right, it's Panthers and Bears. Packers and Bears plus 44.5. Yeah, I can see that. What you're talking about at 44 is 24-20. Absolutely. I can see a 27-24 game in that game. Bills, Jags plus 51.5. I think everybody's on top of that. Everybody's expecting a lot of points. 49ers and Eagles plus 44.5. Yeah, I think that's too low. These two teams, they can slug it out. And I think the Eagles are about to turn it on. You know, they're healthy. I just do. Chargers, Pats plus 40.
Jesse gets Scott's comment.
All right, so here's the one that I'm a little worried about is Texas and Steelers plus 38.5. I figured if I'm going to go all overs, I can't just
go up one.
No, I saw that one too.
There you go. All right, facts. Need 3 of us. Whatever, bro. Let's see. Texas versus Steelers. I'm at plus 38.5. Okay, whatever. You know, score me some points, man. 21-20. That'd be nice. I just don't see it. I think that the Texans are capable of putting up 38 on their own. Their defense keeps scores down, but I couldn't just go John's weekend over Palooza -1. So there you go. Plus 49-12. There's my big pick of the week. Yeah. Where are we? Were we on Buffalo, Jacksonville? Go ahead.
Yes.
All right. This is going to be a good game right here. Buffalo -1.5 at the Jaguars. Over under is 51.5. And you boys already know where I'm going. Buffalo. This is my AFC Super Bowl pick from earlier this season or earlier before the season.
Right.
And this is a big game for our buddy Scott. You know, if the Jags can pull it out, he might get laid.
Well, we've got it right now on FanDuel. On FanDuel, for Scott to be able to get oral gratification if the Jaguars could win, it's up to -120. So bet accordingly, ladies and gentlemen. Max, who do you got in this game?
I think the Jags are going to win this game pretty easy.
Yeah.
I don't think the Bills have it this year.
All right.
And I think we're going to start to get the talk of, hey, if the Bills can't do it this year, when can they?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you how this game's going to go. The Jags are going to be up 14 in the fourth quarter, and Josh Allen and the Bills are going to come rolling back like they do every fucking week.
I tell you what, just on
they
that
did that,
note,
they'd be 17-0, Jesse.
Just on that note right there, watching last night's game, all these games, like since December 1st, if you're not watching the end of football games, you are missing every bit of the fucking action. Holy shit. These fourth quarters are crazy anymore.
I went to bed at halftime in the Steelers-Ravens game the other night.
Oh,
same.
Oh, yeah. No, that game was awesome.
Yeah.
That was crazy. These fourth quarters, and I mean, you know what? It's been like that for a while, Tony. And I would go to bed at halftime of a Monday Night Football game. It's 10-7. I wake up and it's 38-34.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it in the morning.
All right, Tony, who you got in this game?
This is a tough one. I think I'm going to go with the Jags just because they've been so hot. But I agree with part of what Max is saying, part of what Jesse's saying, in that unless Josh Allen plays Superman, which he is more than capable of, I think the Jags will win. but how much of the Jags do you? If you took the name and the helmet off and saw the fact, looked at the stats over the last 10 games and the fact that they'd, the top 5, I think, in both offensive and defensive EPA and DVOA, so they're way up in all the stat lines. But I think people are scared off by the fact that they are the Jags. So maybe we just need to accept that they are a good team.
Yeah, maybe.
Dude, I tell you what, Cohen has gotten what he usually gets out of quarterbacks, out of Trevor Lawrence. I'm taking the Jaguars in this game as well. I think what you said earlier with the Bills,
hang on, real quick. Breaking news. Commanders hiring David Blau to be the new offensive coordinator.
God.
There you go.
Oh.
All right, well.
That is big news.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's run through these games real quick, and we'll get right to it. We're on the microphone.
Winning season again, guys. That's fucking stupid. God.
Well, here, I'll tell you what. We'll just jump right on into it here. We'll get right back to it, ladies and gentlemen. We got breaking news here on the Bleeding Burgundy podcast. David Blau is the new offensive coordinator of the Washington Commanders. Jesse, first reaction.
They're fucking stupid. This is a mistake. Jesus Christ. See you, Dan Quinn. You're done.
All right.
You're done.
Johnny, what do you?
Let me there, Matt.
Wait a minute.
What
Did he go underwater? Did he go underwater? All right, Max, what are you thinking?
I don't know.
Right.
I genuinely don't know.
Come on,
breaking
Max.
news.
You know this pissed you off.
I don't think it's the best hire, but I don't think it's going to be the worst hire.
It's a huge roll of the dice.
It's a must. Yeah,
saying I'm all in this year. I don't mean Super Bowl or bust, but it better turn around and it better be good, or his ass is on the line. He's stepped over a lot of coaching hurdles to elevate this guy after 2 short years, and really only a coaching under one system. As always, I always say, what the fuck are we doing until it happens? Then I go team. Let's go, David Blau.
The tweet from Schefter says that he had interest from Detroit to be their OC, so Quinn acted fast to retain him.
See, this is where I find it to be a problem.
This was a knee-jerk fucking reaction. They had no goddamn plan when they fucking got rid of
Cliff
Kingsbury. This is shit. This is fucking a shit-run organization right now because they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
It does seem like it's a knee-jerk reaction, especially when you consider for Blau going to Detroit. Dan Campbell's an offensive coach. He'd be calling the plays anyway.
Exactly.
It would give him a chance to have a title, but learn a little bit more.
You know, Ben Johnson's offense is fucking Dan Campbell's offense. He got that from Dan fucking Campbell.
Which is kind of amazing when you look at Dan Campbell. You wouldn't think that man would be able to sit 5 minutes without eating the Play-Doh. But
yeah, I mean, it's a hell of a risk. There's no doubt about that. If Blau was potentially going to go to Detroit, well, Campbell took over the play calling midway through the season because Johnny Morton was calling the plays as the OC at the start of the year. It was just because it went badly wrong. So Blau may have been calling the plays there. We don't know that for a fact. But it's a huge risk, and I can only assume that they've already spoken to McDaniel and been told that he's going to get a head coaching job.
Duh. Yeah.
Whether
I know it's like state the obvious, but
no, I'm just saying, like, duh. If your plan was, McDaniel, we think he's going to get fired so we can get him. Come on, man. Like, are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
You didn't. You can't see the writing on the fucking wall. Come the fuck on.
There is the benefit of saying that with Blau, possibly we could get some continuity for more than a year. Because if you did hire McDaniel this year, chances are next year he's going to want to get back in the head coaching pool, and he'd be going.
That's when you bring Blau in.
What's
as
that?
As you said, Jesse, just what we don't know now at this stage, unlike what we would have known about most of the other candidates, is what his offense is going to look like. Now that actually might work that might work in our favor.
Right.
Actually, if you want to be on the positive, that might work in our favor in one sense. Now it might completely blow up as well. So I'm not saying that's definitely going to happen. But yeah, I mean, God, it's a hell of a risk.
Well, we're all in. Chips are in the middle of the table. We'll see what happens. Now, like I said before, one of the positives could be that the only way that he can develop an offense of his own knowing what he's already got coming from Cliff's scheme, which comes from whatever trees that comes from, is that the only player he's worked with is Jaden Daniels. So he'll be able to scheme an offense specifically for Jaden Daniels and not try to take something that was his before and fit it to Jaden Daniels. Like if he was coming from outside. Does that make sense? He's fresh.
What?
No.
Brian Johnson's gone. So that means Brian Johnson will be the play caller. I would hate that. Have you ever listened to that motherfucker sing? Could you imagine him in your helmet?
No, I think Brian Johnson's still there, isn't he? But he won't be the play caller. Blau's the OC.
They got rid of him.
They got rid of the other Johnson.
They got rid of Bobby Johnson. Brian Johnson's still there, isn't he? I think.
Bobby Johnson's the guy from the
was
Giants. Brian Johnson was from the Eagles.
David Blau is the offensive coordinator, i.e. the play caller.
Yeah, the only person that would call plays above an offensive coordinator would be the head coach, like you get with Dan Campbell. You're not going to get another offensive assistant calling the plays. Yeah. The only other positive I can think of with the only other thing I can think of as a positive with the appointment is if you got Mike McDaniel, say for example, or another well-known name, and they had a great year, you'd be in danger of losing them after 12 months.
Right.
With Blau, you would have to assume that he's going to have to be a good OC for at least a couple of years before he's going to get a shot as a head coach. So trying to put a positive spin in it.
If he's the prodigy if he's the Sean McVay prodigy, then
I would have been more comfortable with Brian Johnson as the offensive coordinator than David Blau. He's got experience.
But is it good experience though?
They went to the playoffs.
But this whole experience thing can be a bit of a red herring because I know plenty of shit coaches who are well experienced.
Oh, we've had them here.
You got that right, Tony. Way to put a bow on it right there. Now that he is announced as the offensive coordinator, I'm interested to see what he's going to do because it is a blank slate.
Yeah,
we don't know what we're going to see. Obviously, I think it's going to have a lot of influence from Cliff, but who knows where else Blau is getting influence from that he's going to be able to design for Jaden Daniels. Max, what do you think? You've been sitting there scratching your chin like you're some kind of genius.
I'm just trying to think of it. Like, it's the unknown.
It is. That in itself is intriguing.
That's
what I'm telling you.
That's kind of why I'm interested in it. It's like, you could say it's a knee jerk, but also if you see someone that you really want getting this much attention, pull the trigger.
I mean, he got attention from one team.
Well, that's also
true.
just from this
that's
year.
Very right.
Last year he got attention as well.
That was a team that's a team though that's stacked on the offensive side of the ball. And if they're looking at him saying we might want you, I think that's a positive in his category. It's on his yes side. You know what I'm saying? They're not asking him to come and coach a bunch of schmucks. They're not the Giants.
Schefter's latest tweet's interesting, saying that Blau, as a player, played under Ben Johnson, Kevin O'Connell, and Cliff Kingsbury. It's an interesting mix of offense.
So, from Rap Sheet, the Bears, the Jets, and the Lions have all tried to hire him. And the Bears and the Jets we blocked, and then the Lions this year we weren't going to be able to.
The only thing that gives me pause is if the Jets had interest in him, then that might mean he really absolutely sucks.
That was just a lateral move,
Right, but if you're trying to still get him onto your staff, that means you think highly of him.
I guess.
Listen,
you're the
I
Jet.
think he's a good quarterbacks coach. I'm fine with that,
Assistant quarterbacks coach.
Or he's been the quarterbacks coach the last month, and the last month our quarterbacks have played pretty decently.
He got Josh Johnson to turn that safety from Philadelphia around like he saw a ghost. So, hey, that's where I am. That's where I'm officially going to take my stand right now, as we've just heard the news that David Blau is the offensive coordinator of the Commanders, is that I'm interested to see where we're going to go from here.
Is that
I'm not going to immediately roll my eyes and go, this is going to suck, because I just don't know yet. Let's see.
You're going to have to prove me wrong, but I do not believe for 1 second this is going to work out.
All right,
but I'm happy to be proved wrong. I'm happy to be proved wrong. I so am. But I think we're going to have a whole new fucking coaching staff and maybe even a new general manager come next season.
I mean,
chips are all in the middle of the table. Go ahead, Max.
He's played under Brian Johnson, so he has some things of that. And Brian Johnson is really good at running the football. Not Brian Johnson.
Terrible
Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson. Not on Scott at all.
Ben Johnson. And then but Cliff has the passing and the no huddle aspect with the West Coast system. If Blau can marry those, that's something to look out for.
I mean, unless you're some kind of weirdo,
okay, but
fundamentalist religious
shut
person.
Up. Jesus Christ.
Tony, what makes you interested in this or not interested?
In the Blau hire?
Yes.
Oh, geez, I mean, if nothing else, it is interesting. It's it's the unknown, as Max said. It's what are we going to get?
Right.
I'm just looking at some tweets. Mark Bullock, the British guy, actually, he would just be the Athletic, saying, what we're going to get with Blau. We're going to get some of the no huddle Cliff stuff, the run game, play action sequencing from Ben Johnson. We're going to get a mishmash of everything. So it's going to be OTAs, training camp, everything else this season is going to be even more interesting than usual, just because what we're going to see. And you've got to imagine that Peters and Dan and DQ are going to have to say to him, as we said in the early part of this pod, Jaden Daniels is the future. Jaden Daniels is the offense. Everything has to be tailored around getting the best out of him, trying to make sure he doesn't get killed, so maybe fewer design run plays. I know he got injured on scrambles, not run plays, but that's by the by. So yeah, it's really interesting. Whether it's the right move. I understand Jesse's reaction, but I think at this stage we really can't say. What we can say is it's a big risk.
It's a risk. So yeah, as usual, interesting times. All right, so everybody who hasn't been following along with anything else, our new offensive coordinator is David Blau. And for all of you that are listening in the future on your car radio or on something else that you want to listen to the podcast with, remember, you heard it here about 150th, the Bleeding Burgundy podcast. Breaking news for everybody, no matter what time stream they're in. All right, we're going to go back to the Buffalo-Jacksonville game. Are we all good on this? Jesse, you've got a big parlay in this game. We're going to call this the Jesse, let's get Scotty some butt play parlay of the week. Right, we're working on this, Scott. The Jaguars are in the playoffs, and if you are new to this show, Scott's lovely wife, Karen, is a Jaguars fan from the get-go. She was on this chat a half an hour before we put up the show and said, go Duval. So she's into it. Scott, you know what that means, right? Come on, dude. You can do it. You can do it. All right, so this is Jesse's big let's get Scott some butt play parlay of the week.
Yeah, we got old Trev with 200-plus passing yards and over 1.5 passing touchdowns.
You got a lot on this parlay.
What's that?
You have a lot on this parlay. There's 12 things, right? 12 legs.
Parker Washington over 50.5 receiving yards, over 3.5 receptions. Jacoby Myers 30 alt receiving yards, 4 receptions. Brenton Strange 25 over 25 receiving, or no, excuse me.
Yeah, over 25 receiving yards.
Over 25 receiving yards, 3 total receptions. Travis Etienne, alt 40 rush yards. Josh Allen, 200-plus passing yards, alt. Kincaid, 30 receiving yards. James Cook, 50 rush yards. Khalil Shakir, 4.5 total receptions.
That's a lot. Plus 40.93, plus 40.93. I mean, I put $1 on it. I'll tell you that. When you sent it to me, I put $1 on it. I like it all. The one part of it I am leery on is Khalil Shakir. I don't know what it is with the Bills, man.
He always gets receptions. His yard totals are down. They use him in screens a lot, so he doesn't get high yards, but he gets like 5 to 7 receptions a game.
All right. Well, good luck on that, and good luck to me too, because if we both hit that, man, we're going to smack high five.
Yeah.
All right. So San Francisco and the Philadelphia Eagles. Is our good friend Twist here today? I haven't seen Twist. Hey, what do you know? Pete Sidorn is here. What's going on, Pete? Nice to see you.
The Eagles are favored by 4.5.
There, Tony, in case you didn't know.
So one stat to know about this game is the head official is Alan Eck, or whatever his name is. The Eagles are 8-1 in games officiated by him.
Yeah, that's fucking. I don't care. 44.5. I don't care about Alan Eck and his 8-1 record against the Eagles. But I'm taking the 49ers. I'm sorry.
You're sorry?
I am not I don't. The Eagles are not. I don't think they're that good. I think they are the worst out of the 4 division winners, except for maybe the
Carolina won a division.
Carolina.
Stop it.
But I think Carolina could beat the Eagles. Sorry. Yeah, 49ers will win this game. Fuck the Eagles.
Yes, fuck them.
Give me the 49ers.
I agree with that bit.
All right. Okay. So you're taking the over under. What do you got on that? What do you think? This is going to be a high scoring game or not?
I might running backs. I might lean towards the over in this one, but I think it's a good number right there. To be honest with you,
I'm going over in this game. I can see this game being a shootout, and an interesting kind of shootout. Like McCaffrey runs off a 40-yard run, followed by a Saquon Barkley 60-yard run, something like that. All right, Tony, what do you got in this game?
I'm going to go with Philly. I just think that San Francisco, watching the broadcast of the game last week, put so much energy and effort and into winning that game and getting the number 1 seed. And they're going to cross the country. I know it's a bit of an old trope, but it's a big ask. Trent Williams is back by the looks of it. He's questionable, but I suspect he'll probably play. Yeah. Which is probably going to help them.
Lane Johnson is also very questionable.
Is he? Okay.
Yeah.
I know Philly's offense. I was talking to an Eagles fan about this yesterday at work, and he's just really concerned about Philly's offense, and it needs to step up. And I think it will enough that the Eagles will win. I hope they don't, because I obviously clearly don't want the Eagles to repeat. Yeah. But I just have a feeling that the Niners have peaked 3 or 4 weeks ago, and they're just too beat up.
I think you're right. Go ahead, Max.
I think the Niners are going to win this game, but I'm not going to be surprised whatsoever if Philly pulls this out.
Why would you think that 49ers are going to win this game?
I mean, to build off everything that's been said, the Eagles' offense is just so inconsistent. If Lane Johnson's not out there, that team is a different team. Meanwhile, San Francisco, they've dealt with the adversity of the injuries all year, and they just went, 12-5?
Yeah, they did. That
was a good point about Lane Johnson, but I still, for some reason, Lane Johnson, that offense is just not. I don't think it's been the same all year.
It's really. Because he's their best run blocker.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Your right tackle is going to be your best run blocker.
Saquon hasn't had a good year.
He hasn't had a horrible year, but I mean, when you're coming off a 2,000-yard year and you do this, and so it looks bad in comparison.
Here's a fun little thing for you. The Eagles since 2013, when they drafted Lane Johnson, when he is in the lineup, they're 110, 57, and 1. When he is not in the lineup, they're 18 and 27.
Wow.
For the same matter, the 49ers since 2020 with Trent Williams are 61 and 32 with and 4 and 13 without.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I think before, but yeah,
I'm taking the Eagles in this game. Super Bowl champions.
I know. Okay, good. Yeah, take the Eagles. Go ahead, take the Eagles. Fuck it.
They've had a tough schedule all year long. They've been tempered by tough games. They've been tempered by tough games. San Francisco had a chance last week to avoid going on the road all the way across the country. They failed. I think you're going to see a big game out of AJ Brown. What's his line? 64.5. I would take him over 64.5 yards if that's
is that pages read out of his book on the sideline.
Look, man, I am never going to sit and in judgment of a reader. Okay,
on the NFL sideline, Dad.
Whatever. If he's got to do that to center himself, I don't want the Eagles to win. Don't get me wrong. There was a lot of conversation on social media this week about who are you rooting for. I'm not rooting for anybody in these playoffs. I like playoffs when we're not involved for just watching good football. But anybody who's playing against the Eagles, that's who I'm rooting for. I'll be rooting for San Francisco in this game. I just don't think that they're going to get it done. Give me the Eagles, lay the 4.5, over 44.5. AJ Brown, over 64.5, if that's the number. But that's as high as I'd take it up to. And I think that's it for that game. My last one.
2 more.
All right, Chargers and the Patriots. Patriots favored by 3.5. Go ahead, Jesse. I'm taking your thunder here.
Yeah, the Pats are favored by 3.5. Over under is 46.5. If anything, I'm definitely going over in this game. I think this is going to be another good game. Both quarterbacks have had a hell of a year, and Chargers are starting to get healthy. I mean, they got Hampton's back. But Patriots, man, I want the Chargers to win, but I think the Patriots might squeak this one out. But it's going to be a close game.
What do you think, Tony?
Yeah, I think I agree with Jesse. I think the Patriots, a lot's been said about the easy schedule that they had, but you can only beat the teams in front of you.
Exactly.
I don't think they're as good, perhaps, as the record would indicate. However, I don't think the Chargers are that great either. Even having Hampton back will obviously be helpful. It could be a great game. It could be a shootout. But I think the Patriots will probably just about edge it.
What do you think, Max?
Let me get the weather. It's going to be 35 degrees. The Patriots are going to win this game. It's going to be close. The Chargers, all of their lines are very low. Hampton's rushing line is only 46.5. I think that going across the country on a Sunday night into New England, Drake May is going to arrive.
Drake May is definitely the key. He's been one of my most consistent bets this year is to take Drake May and whatever over on his passing yards. It hits almost every time. I'm going to go with it again. I'd also take the Hunter Henry over. I think it's like 30. I'd take him over 30. If it was up to 34, I might take that. Maybe even 35.
You're at 44.5.
44.5 for Hunter Henry?
Yes.
Ooh, I don't know about that. That's a little high for my blood right there.
Just to build on the Chargers being low, McConkey's 39.5.
He's been up and down so much this year.
Keenan Allen's 33. Johnson's 36. Gadsden's 31. For passing, where's Herbert's at 225.
Gadsden got hurt last week, didn't he?
No, he just came back last week, I think.
I thought he ended up last week. I mean, I don't think he ended up leaving the game, but I don't think he was completely healthy. I like him.
Yeah, it's January. No one's completely healthy.
All right, so I'm taking the Patriots in this game. I'm going to lay the 3.5 points. I'm going to say it's an over 46.5 points. Give me Drake May and the over. I just think that the roommates West come out here into the cold on a Sunday night, and they don't like it. Well, yeah, they're the roommates West is the Chargers, roommates East is the Jets. So, yeah, give me the Patriots in this game, and that's where I'm going. I'll tell you what, though, Ohio State backfields, that should be interesting. Omarion Hampton versus Travion Henderson right off.
Yeah.
Coming together. That should be pretty good.
Hampton didn't go to Ohio State.
I thought he did.
He went to North Carolina.
You're thinking of Judkins, aren't you?
You're thinking of Quinshon Judkins.
You know what I'm thinking of? Fuck if I know. All right. Yeah, that's the whole bottom line of it. See, this looks like a water bottle.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the game that I picked the over and the one I'm not confident with. It's Texans versus Steelers at home.
Favored by 3, over under 38.5. And yeah, I'm a little bit nervous about that over too. This is a defensive driven game right here. I might put a little bit of money on the under.
I have to look at this game and look at the quarterbacks. I mean, that Texans defense is so good. Pittsburgh's defense is good. But it's Rodgers and Stroud.
Well,
oof.
Neither one of them have put up booming numbers this year.
Right, no, but Rodgers is Rodgers. There ain't a defense out there Rodgers hasn't seen.
Although this one playing,
Metcalf's back here.
Yes.
Metcalf's playing. I would tell you what, if there's one prop bet that I like, it actually there's two I like in this game. It's Freiermuth over 43, I believe it is 43.5. Check it out. Check it and see.
34.5.
I'm looking at
34.
All right, I'm dyslexic. 34.5. I love it, Freiermuth. Okay, because the Texans defense is so fast. He's going to be looking at his tight end a lot. I also love. Here I lost his name. Not Jalen Warren. The other one for
Gainwell.
That's right, Kenneth Gainwell. His receiving is like 32.5. I'll take that. Give me the over on that, and give me the Texans. I'll lay the 3, and I took the over because everything had to be an over.
I don't want to, but I'm going to say Pittsburgh. In the cold, I think they're going to freeze Houston out. It's going to be cold in Pittsburgh.
Whatever. Defense loves cold.
I think the Texans edge this game out barely. I'll take the under. And I think Aaron Rodgers will say he's coming back again for another year.
It's not going to surprise me if DK kind of goes off this game.
They might just throw it to him just to say, "Hey, fuck you, blue hair guy." And I think for the rest of America, fuck you, blue hair.
Who is it? Stingley? Is it Stingley?
Yeah,
it's Derek Stingley.
He's
good. He's good. Don't get me wrong.
Good. He's good.
But
so
I think
that's going to be a good matchup right there.
I feel like DK is going to get there. I think their Texans are going to drop a lot back in zone. I don't think you want to man up DK.
It's the pass rush. That's with them. They flow to the ball so god blessed fast. Even if you throw it, whoever's got it ain't going any further. And I don't think that Rodgers is going to have a good time trying to get the ball off. I say it's Rodgers. He's seen every defense that there is, but I don't know that he's seen one that's this fast.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're so fast.
Mm-hmm.
I'm torn on this one as well. I might just roll time's sake one more time, go for the Steelers and Rodgers, just because, I mean, it's going to.
Why not?
Is this year the year they finally win a playoff game?
Well, we'll see.
They haven't won a playoff game since 2017.
10 years, isn't it? Or something, 9 years, yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if the Steelers edge this one out, but I just think the Texans.
That defense is smothering. What goes on the road? What travels? Defense travels.
Defense.
Yep. And
I'm talking myself out of this now.
Yeah, give me the Texans all day long.
Throw the under for me. This is going to be a 13-10 slug.
I was just saying like 13-16 type of game.
Definitely under. Definitely.
I took the over. So you take it for what it's worth. All right, well, there you go, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, that is our preview for the playoffs, and that is our we talked about the Commanders. We talked about all kinds of stuff. And hey, we'll be back, I guess, next Friday?
Next Friday.
To pick
divisional round.
Wow.
Yeah, we'll probably react to a new defensive coordinator.
We might be here earlier. We might be back Tuesday to talk about David Blau and what other hires we have. You never know. It's that time of year. So we might see you Tuesday, but we'll definitely see you Friday from here on the Bleeding Burgundy podcast. I'm John Taman, and that's about as professional as I get. See you later.